Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to Common English Mistakes. Don't just learn, improve. So today we're going to look at some confusing preposition phrases. These cause quite a few issues, but we can easily simplify them and know when to use each one. Also, I've got a nice colloquial phrase related to that, which you can use to give your opinion about things. So anyway, the mistake is up here. Use a capital letter in the beginning of a sentence. So just pause the video, try to correct the sentence. And well done if you said at the beginning of a sentence. So at the beginning means either the start or the first part of something. For place, this is nice and easy. It's always going to be at the beginning. So for example, we started at the beginning of the trail. But of course, we mainly use it to talk about time. So for example, I get paid at the beginning of every month. Also, when it's talking about events or things. So a teacher takes the register at the beginning of each class. The band played their most famous song at the beginning of the concert. And for all of these, we could also say at the start of. Basically means the same thing. So when do we use in the beginning? Well, look at these two sentences here. The car was invented at the beginning of the 20th century, and in the beginning, cars were very dangerous. The main distinction here is, like we said, at the beginning means the first part of something, and generally we use this one with preposition of. You don't want to say in the beginning of something. So in the beginning basically means at first, and you're going to use it on its own. So in the beginning, at first, initially, cars were very dangerous. I'd also say you're going to use this for much longer periods of time. So let's take a classic example, the first page of the Bible. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. You could also say, in the beginning, at first, initially, computers were very, very big. Now they fit in the palms of our hands. It doesn't have to be these very, very long things. You could talk about a project. We had some problems with the project in the beginning, but it all worked out. There may be some overlap with these phrases. For example, talking about a film, you could talk about the first part of the film, or at first, your initial reaction. What I would recommend is just to always use of with the phrase at the beginning. If you do this, you kind of avoid confusion and you'll guarantee that you don't make mistakes. So we've got at the beginning, at the start of, to mean the first part or start of something. In the beginning, which is basically a synonym for at first or initially. Then with middle, it's nice and easy. We're just going to say in the middle of. In the middle of the week, in the middle of a concert, in the middle of a lesson. So then when it comes to the last part of something, students generally make a different error. So just pause the video, try to correct this sentence. So here, to say the last part of something, or the end, we need to say at the end of. I usually feel tired at the end of the day. And we use it in a similar way to at the beginning of. So for example, use a full stop at the end of a sentence. Everyone clapped at the end of the concert. We had a meal at the end of the project to celebrate. But then we do have the phrase in the end. So just pause the video and think what it means. We were losing the match 3-0, but in the end, we won 4-3. And well done if you said we use this to talk about the result of something. Basically, eventually. So for example, I was nervous about the exam, but in the end, I passed. Often you're going to use this with positive things and often with contrast, but you don't have to. We couldn't find a restaurant and in the end just ate at home. And again, often there might be some overlap. For example, at the end of Titanic, Jack dies, the last part, but in the end, he dies. That's the result. And then finally today, I've got a phrase that you can use, which is at the end of the day, if you want to learn a language, you need to study. So pause the video and think when you would use this phrase. And well done if you said you use this phrase to summarize and say what you think is most important. Quite informal, but that's the phrase. So explanation over. As ever, guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure to like and subscribe. At the end of the day, it's not a lot of effort for you, but it does help me a lot. So if you could do that, that would be great. When you're ready, let's practice and improve. Just pause the video, look at these sentences, think about the context, and put one of the phrases at the beginning, in the end, etc., into the gaps. And well done if you said, I usually go out for drinks at the end of the week. Guess it could be at the beginning or in the middle, but generally this is what people do. And then I couldn't find my phone for ages. In the end, eventually, I found it in my car. Then at first, in the beginning, people were nervous about shopping online. Now we all do it. And then at the beginning of a holiday, I like to explore the city or place. People in Portugal have coffee at the end of a meal. And finally, at the end of the day, I think health is the most important thing in life. So now just pause the video and write, say, or discuss the same sentences for you. And finally, today's question. At the end of the day, what do you want to achieve in English? So write your answers in the comments, guys, and use that phrase to give your answers. So that's basically it for today. Quite a confusing one because there are a few different rules. But if you remember all that, you're going to avoid these and you're not going to make mistakes. Other than that, I'll see you for another video in the next couple of days. So until next time, see ya.